Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, check out some other videos I have and subscribe and like if you like the content I'm talking about. Today I'm going to talk about the 4 albums that changed my life or had the most influence on my musical taste. These 4 albums really led the path and led me into other musical genres and other artists and are really important / special to me. So I'm really excited to talk about them today. Let's start with the first one, which I actually don't have a copy of. It's actually at my parents' house. And it's a compilation album, which I'm not a fan, because usually I like studio albums. This album is the album that really started me getting into music, and that's the Beatles One, the red cover, the Beatles One hits. I actually went to a concert with my family, a cover concert of the Beatles, and afterwards I was like, I gotta listen to this more. I was into She Loves You and I Feel Fine and A Hard Day's Night. I really got into every single song, and then I just needed more after that, and then I got to the Beatles albums. All the songs, I have all of them memorized. And then I eventually bought a guitar, and I would pretend to jam along with them, and this is when I was 13 or 14. Before this, I was like, the Beatles are just this old band that old people like. But it turns out their music is amazing. It's been 15 plus years since I got into them, and I still love the Beatles. Really more than anything, but I listened to them so much. I know every song, every album, every little noise they made. But we'll talk about the Beatles more in more videos, so I definitely have a lot to say about them. And what's funny is I actually thought Paul's voice was John's and John's voice was Paul's when I first got into the Beatles, and I really loved what was really John's voice, but I thought it was Paul singing. More on John Lennon later for sure. The second album that changed my view on music, this is Freewheelin by Bob Dylan. This album, to me, is the ultimate singer-songwriter album. This is his second album after his debut, which is self-titled, just Bob Dylan. Every song's amazing. Okay, this is just him, his guitar, his harmonica. I mean, most people have heard Blown in the Wind. The answer, my friend. Masters of War.
There's one thing I know, though I'm younger than you, even Jesus would never forgive what you do.
It's a classic, Puck and World War III blues. Amazing. So good, actually. Bob Dylan's Dream. It's all about nostalgia, which I can definitely relate with. Really, this album, to me, is when music became real. When Bob Dylan made music mean something. Before this album, music was about dancing and moving your body, but this is all heavy stuff. This album definitely can get you started into the singer-songwriter scene. If you haven't listened to this album, grab some headphones, put it on, listen to it all, listen to the lyrics. It's amazing that a 20-year-old kid can make something like this. Freewheelin', Bob Dylan. When I first got to this album, I remember I would carry it around because if I saw a CD player, I'd want to put it in, listen to it wherever I went. This is actually a copy that my dad gave me. Well, actually, probably that I stole from him, but this is his. And that is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, 1973. This album is very good. I would say that it's perfect from start to finish. But to be honest, the most famous song on this album, I'm kind of sick of, and that's Money. Now, it's a great song, has a great riff. All the other songs on this album are much better, in my opinion. Time on this album is possibly the greatest classic rock song ever. Okay, the guitar solo in Time. There's nothing that really comes close to that. And the lyrics, all about, ticking away the moments that make up a dull day. Time is amazing, okay? And just Us and Them, amazing. Great Gig in the Sky. Who's done a song like Great Gig in the Sky? Just tons of random screaming and amazing piano. Eclipse, Brain Damage. This album is so good. And I've listened to it so many times. I know every single noise, every single weird thing that goes on. I've seen shows here where I live laser shows with it. I don't listen to it as much as I used to because I've just listened to it so much, but this album influenced me a ton. If you don't know this album, highly would recommend it. Okay, this album is unbeatable. There's nothing that comes close to this in like in the 70s or any classic rock arena. Like Led Zeppelin doesn't come close, the Rolling Stones don't come close, the Beatles don't even come close to this. That you can't really compare this album to anything else because it's so high up there. So that's Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Fourth album, actually, I gotta grab it over here. I actually have it on vinyl. And this is a more modern album. This kind of got me into the alternative music world. I remember when this album came out, I was actually a senior in high school. The band that released this album decided to release it on the internet for free. So me and my friend pulled up the computer and just listened to it sitting in front of the computer. I remember thinking, you know what, this is okay. But then I listened to it again and I was like, this is getting better and better every time I listen to it. This has some of the best vocals I've ever heard by a singer. Really the most memorable lyrics too. In Rainbows by Radiohead, 2008. The songs that stick out to me are Nude. Tom York's voice on Nude blows my mind. And the lyrics. Don't get in big ideas. His high falsetto voice. They're not gonna happen.
So don't get big ideas.
And then Reckoner. Oh my gosh, the drums, the singing, the piano. If you haven't listened to this album, listen to it. In my opinion, this is Radiohead's best album. I love all their albums, except I'm not a big fan of Pablo Honey. Yeah, I love all their albums. I even love King of Limbs quite a bit. But this album, I think, is Radiohead at their prime. Yeah, this really got me into the alternative scene. This is a great album. And I have it on vinyl, so sweet stuff. So those are the 4 albums that really influenced me. Would love to see in the comments section below which albums really influenced you, if you guys were influenced by these albums that I talked about, or if you would disagree with me that these albums aren't that great, or if other albums really influenced you. So yeah, look forward to talking to you soon about these albums, and look forward to more videos in the future. See you guys.